CrossFit's biggest stars have descended on the Lone Star State. Over the next 4 days, they will vie for one of the most prestigious titles in the sport and a share of the $1.2 million prize purse. An icon in the sport of fitness returns to individual competition for the first time in a year. A talented European has her sights on her first championship on American soil. And a group of young guns hope to show that their time is now. It's a Texas-sized showdown. Welcome to the 2022 Rogue Invitational. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the opening day of competition here at the 2022 Rogue Invitational from Dell Diamond Stadium in Round Rock, Texas. I'm Sean Woodland with three-time Affiliate Cup champion Adrian Conway. We are through 3 of the 10 events for the CrossFit competition. We will get to event 4 in just a second, but through these first 3 events, what has stood out to you?
Everything. I love everything about what we've seen so far. We've seen a run. We've seen the athletes with a new apparatus, a wooden bar. They had to do bar muscle-ups on it. It was 4 inches in diameter, and we saw them loaded more than they've ever been loaded before in the form of a back squat. So the show has been tremendous thus far.
The 3-time defending Rogue Invitational champion is not in the field. That is Tia Toomey. Here's a look at the women who are. And it is loaded with talent. Annie Thorstadter, a former 2-time fittest woman on earth who finished second at the Rogue Invitational last year. She is here, as well as some exciting youngsters, and all have the potential to stand on top of the podium here.
Absolutely. We've got a field with Emma Lawson, who has had a tremendous showing in the first 3 events. We've got Laura Horvath, Gabby Magawa, and we can't forget the former champ herself, Annie Thorstadter, is in the lineup. This field is not letting us down one bit.
Event 4 is coming up in just a second, but before we get to that, let's recap what has gone on so far. And we start with Event 1 that took place 1 day ago off-site in Hill Country just outside of Austin, Texas. For the first time ever at the Rogue Invitational, the competition started with an off-site event. The athletes would have to navigate more than 4 miles of running and deal with some heavy sandbags at the halfway point. They would also have to run the first 1.2 miles wearing a 20-pound ruck. The men and women took on the event together, but were scored separately. 2 of the younger athletes in the field, Gabby Magawa and Emma Lawson, would lead early. They would be the first to drop their ruck packs, but Danielle Brandon and Bailey Rogers were able to close in on them. Brandon would take the lead on the next 1-mile run and was the first woman to the 70-pound sandbags. She would never be challenged after that, cruising to an event win with a time of 34 minutes, 11.03 seconds. Bailey Rogers would take second, followed by Gabby Magawa in third. Emma Lawson would fall to 5th, while Annie Thorstadter and Laura Horvath would finish in the middle of the pack, 7th and 9th, respectively. What an exciting way to kick off competition here at the 2022 Rogue Invitational. Heat 1 is still underway down on the field for Event 4, DT with a spin. Currently, Annie Thorstadter and Ellie Turner are battling for the lead. As the women continue to move through the event, let's get you caught up with how this day started, as the women were first out on the field here at the Dell Diamond. Event 2 featured 3 familiar CrossFit movements and 1 brand new piece of equipment. Ski bar consisted of bar muscle-ups, calories on a ski erg, and glute ham developer sit-ups. But instead of using a regular pull-up bar for the bar muscle-ups, the athletes had to use a much thicker wooden bar.
They've got to figure out a way to navigate that new wooden apparatus that's out there for the bar muscle-ups.
The second and final heat for the women featured a battle between 17-year-old Emma Lawson and Ariel Lowen. Judges' hand in the air for Ariel Lowen. Lowen was out front after the halfway point of the event, but both Lawson and Cara Saunders were keeping the pressure on her as they got back to the ski erg for the second and final time. Emma Lawson made her move on the final set of 20 bar muscle-ups. Lawson with 1 rep left, now 8 seconds. Lawson overtook Lowen in the back half of the set and would hang on for the event win. Emma Lawson is going to win event number 2. Lawson's event win propelled her into first place after 2 events. Danielle Brandon moved down to second, but 8 events remained in a stacked women's field. So much great action here at the Rogue Invitational. Heat 1 of Event 4 is still a tight battle between Annie Thorisdottir and Ellie Turner for the lead. The conclusion when we return and we break down what happened in Event 3, Back Attack. Stay with us at the 2022 Rogue Invitational.
This CBS Sports Spectacular, the 2022 Rogue Invitational on CBS Sports is sponsored by Rogue, Don't Weaken, and by Go Ruck, the Rucking Company. They build the world's toughest gear for rucking and training.
Welcome back to the 2022 Rogue Invitational here at Dell Diamond Stadium in Round Rock, Texas. I'm Sean Woodland with three-time Affiliate Cup champion Adrian Conway. Ellie Turner just made a late charge to beat Annie Thorisdottir for the Heat 1 win, setting the time to beat at 8 minutes, 54.27 seconds. Before the final heat takes the floor, let's get you caught up with what happened after Event 2, Ski Bar. Event 3, Back Attack, consisted of just two movements, back squats and box jump overs. But the back squats were heavy, 275 pounds on the bar for the women. Early in the event, it was evident that weight would be too much for two women sitting on top of the leaderboard, Emma Lawson and Danielle Brandon. They both struggled to move that 275-pound barbell.
We had Danielle Brandon drop and fail a rep.
That is huge for Danielle Brandon. Neither the weight nor the box jumps were a problem for Laura Horvath. She blitzed through the first set of each to take the lead heading into round 2. Just behind her were Poland's Gabby Magawa and Australia's Cara Saunders. They were looking to make a move up the leaderboard as they sat in 7th and 10th, respectively. Heading into the back half of the event, no one was going to stop Laura Horvath, and this is how it played out. Laura Horvath is on a warpath. She's about a full round ahead of the competition. Cara Saunders is the woman closest to Horvath. 4:33.74 seconds is the top time. That was Ellie Turner in heat number 1. 3 reps now as Cara Saunders kicks off round 3, trying to catch up with Laura Horvath, who is now done with her 3rd round of box jump overs, and she heads back to the barbell for her set of 2. No problem for Laura Horvath. Now 10 box jump overs.
And still attacking with a ton of confidence, back and forth, urgency in the transition.
Laura Horvath has no one even close to her right now. Cara Saunders is in 2nd. Gabriella Magawa in the black on the right side of the screen is in the top 5 in this heat right now. So final rep for Laura Horvath. Now 5 final box jump overs. And Horvath has got a chance here to beat Ellie Turner and pick up an event win.
Looks like she's going to do it convincingly.
Horvath is done. Laura Horvath will win the back attack. Overall standings after 3 events, it's Emma Lawson, who is still your leader with 230 points. She has a 10-point cushion on Gabby Magawa. Cara Saunders sits in 3rd, 15 points back. And Laura Horvath has a 5-point cushion over Ariel Lowen and Annie Thorisdottir, who are both tied with 190 points. The second heat will take the field shortly. Emma Lawson will try to hold off favorites Gabby Magawa, Annie Thorisdottir, and your Event 3 winner, Laura Horvath. DT with a spin is up next when the 2022 Rogue Invitational continues. When we return, a CrossFit Classic meets a grueling implement. The women take on Event 4, DT with a spin, as we close out day 1 at the Rogue Invitational. Welcome back to the 2022 Rogue Invitational here at Dell Diamond Stadium in Round Rock, Texas. I'm Sean Woodland with 3-time Affiliate Cup champion Adrian Conway. Day number 1 is headed to a close as the women in the second and final heat in Event 4, DT with a spin, are about to take the field. Time to beat out of the first heat was set by Australia's Ellie Turner. She had a late charge at the end of the event to beat former 2-time CrossFit Games champion Annie Thorisdottir with a time of 8:54.27 seconds.
DT with a spin. We know that DT is a hero workout. We've seen it heavy in 2015. We saw it double in 2016 at the CrossFit Games, and now the Rogue Invitational gives it to us with the Echo bike. It's 15 calories on the bike, 12 deadlifts, 9 hang power cleans, and 6 push jerks, all at 105 pounds for these ladies. 5 rounds for time.
Your overall leaders will be on the field. Emma Lawson right now is on top of the overall standing with 230 points, 10-point cushion on Gabby McGowan. And your keys to the event.
Yeah, Emma is doing her thing, and we'll see if she's able to run this race appropriately, but you've got to lose early to win late. Pace the way that you need to, just like we saw Ellie do in the first heat. Then, of course, these calories count. Stay strict on your tempo on the bike. Know what you need to hold. And then big engines and strong bodies tend to have favor in this event specifically.
Your lane assignments for the second and final heat. Emma Lawson will be in lane number 7, trying to hold off Gabby McGowan and Cara Saunders. McGowan just 10 points back, Saunders 25 points back. Laura Horvath, meanwhile, moved up to 4th place overall, courtesy of an event win in back attack.
And speaking of strong bodies and strong engines, Laura Horvath is that in droves. I really love this workout for her on the erg specifically, and also with cycling of the barbell. I think she's got the capacity to have urgency on the barbell and dictate the pace of the bike just to play the field with where she wants to end up amongst these other ladies.
Opening 15 calories. And all the athletes within about 2 of each other right now. Laura Horvath and Gabby McGowan are out front early. And it's going to be McGowan off the bike along with Horvath, Saunders, and Alexis Raptis. Here comes Emma Lawson.
You notice Gabby even starts with a mixed grip. When you watch athletes do that, one hand over, one hand under, they're literally just trying to conserve their grip, maybe preserve some of their grip stamina for the latter rounds. But that ensures you that they're going to be breaking up this complex and not going unbroken.
Amanda Barnhart now. First woman done. She's on the right side of your screen in the long blue pants. First back to the bike, just ahead of Gabby McGowan and Laura Horvath.
Watching Amanda's hands on the bike, she's got a little release there. I wonder if she feels as though that gives her grip some relief, or if there's a strategy there. I've actually never seen this done. And it certainly has my brain very curious onto this strategy, or if it's even something she's conscious about.
Horvath, McGowan, and Barnhart all about even right now. Horvath, judge's hand is in the air first, followed by McGowan, and then quickly by Amanda Barnhart. Once they hit 57, they'll head back to the barbell, and Horvath is now done.
And she's purely in the attack position on that bike, leaning forward, weight over the pedals, all go.
Alexis Raptis in the blue shirt, joining McGowan and Barnhart on the barbell for round 2 at DT, and here comes Cara Saunders. Now Ariel Lowen and Emma Lawson, Danielle Brandon as well. Brandon had a missed rep on back attack. The last event had to ditch the barbell and then had to load it back onto the rack, which really ended any hopes she had of a strong performance in that event. Trying to rebound here in DT with a spin. Laura Horvath just ahead of Amanda Barnhart to start round 3. 8:54.27 seconds, the time to beat in the upper right-hand part of your screen. That belongs to Ellie Turner. 210 is the number the women must reach before they can head to the finish line. Ariel Lowen, Danielle Brandon, and Emma Lawson will now join everyone at the Echo Bike. Gabby McGowan currently in 3rd place and will look to make a push as the event moves on. Laura Horvath is your early leader in this event, but she is trying to hold off Amanda Barnhart as Horvath looks to beat Ellie Turner's time of 8 minutes 54.27 seconds for an event win. Stay tuned for the conclusion of DT with a spin when we come back to the 2022 Rogue Invitational.
This CBS Sports Spectacular, the 2022 Rogue Invitational on CBS Sports is sponsored by BTWB. Fitness is a journey. And by Rogue. Don't weaken.
Welcome back to the 2022 Rogue Invitational here at Dell Diamond Stadium in Round Rock, Texas. Event 4 of 10, DT with a spin, is underway for the women. 5:42 on the clock. 2:10 is the number the women must reach to run to the finish line. Laura Horvath has 8 calories to go on the Echo Bike at the start of round 4 of 5. Horvath, in the all-black, came into the event in 4th place overall with 195 points. She is only 25 back of Gabby McGowan for 2nd and 35 points back of Emma Lawson for the overall lead. And right now, Emma Lawson sits in 5th place in this heat. And keep in mind, times from the prior heat could factor in here and really help out Laura Horvath.
Yeah, and they like the will, and I think she knows that. She knows when an event is lined up for her strengths, and she's going to certainly go attack and try to make sure that she maximizes the point outcome. Getting 100 will certainly help her situation right now.
Still has some work to do, though, as she has now 7 reps to go, 6 reps left before she is done with round 4. Emma Lawson, your overall leader in the long pants, walking up to the barbell as Horvath heads back to the bike for the final time. 2 minutes to complete this round to beat Ellie Turner's time. Alexis Raptis is all by herself now in 2nd place, getting back onto the bike. Amanda Barnhart and Gabby McGowan are now onto the bike for the final time.
Now, we saw from the first heat of these women that you might seem as though you have a comfortable lead, but if one athlete makes a surge on the bike or perhaps switches what they've done from in the first 4 rounds into the last round, the opportunity is still there with even a 5 to 7 second lead. So there's still a lot up in the air here for places 2nd through 10.
Horvath continues to hold off Alexis Raptis. And Horvath is ahead of Ellie Turner's pace right now. Less than a minute to go before we hit Turner's top time. So Horvath heads to the barbell for her 5th and final round of DT. And if she can do this unbroken, she's going to have a good chance of winning this event. Now Alexis Raptis back to the barbell.
Yeah, and both these ladies strong showing in their first deadlifts, but you know Alexis Raptis is going to drop the bar. She had that mixed grip, so she already showed us that, simply how she approached the bar.
24 seconds for Laura Horvath. She's got 6 reps to go. So Laura Horvath is going to do it. Back-to-back event wins for Laura Horvath to close out Friday, and she beats Ellie Turner by 10 seconds. Alexis Raptis, great effort from her. She's 2 seconds back, and here comes Gabby McGowan. Raptis is going to be good enough for 2nd place in the event. Barnhart and Danielle Brandon, good rebound for Brandon after that mishap in event number 3, and now overall leader Emma Lawson is across. 9:12.94 seconds for her. Lawson might have given up the overall lead to Horvath after another impressive event win. It was wire to wire for Laura Horvath, but Alexis Raptis did make it interesting late.
Yeah, they both did fantastic, but we were leaning into Laura Horvath all the way out of the gate, and we knew when you see a monostructural movement like the bike or the Echo Bike specifically in a barbell, where that's going to be some bread and butter for her. But I was really impressed with what Alexis Raptis showed here in means of straight up work capacity and engine. Laura Horvath was able to hold her off until the very end. but Raptis certainly made it close and made it interesting.
Here are your event results. Horvath and Raptis finished 1 and 2. Ellie Turner picks up another solid event finish as she takes third. It's Gabriella Magawa and then Annie Thorisdottir rounding out the top 5. Now let's send it down to Kiki Dixon with your event winner, Laura Horvath.
Typically, DT is all gas, no brakes, but this time we added a pedal with that Echo bike. How did that affect your pacing?
I just pick like the moderately fastish pace that I know like could keep on the bike. And like basically try to pace the bikes and just get the bar out of the way as fast as I could.
Now you've completed DT in the past, DT with the Swin. You got to win. Which do you prefer and why?
I must say I like the bike version. The other one is just like a sprint, and now you have to like a little bit of technique and like strategy behind it. So I really like it. I also use the Echo bike every single day, so I like it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys, you're awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiki. After 4 events, Laura Horvath's back-to-back wins moves her from 4th up to 2nd. But it's Gabriella Magawa who sits in the top overall spot with 305 total points. Early leader, teenager Emma Lawson, she drops down to 3rd. Annie Thorisdottir's return to individual competition sees her in 4th place, just 20 points back of Lawson. Thorisdottir gains 2 spots, but a lot can happen with 6 more events to go here at the 2022 Rogue Invitational. Gabby Magawa sits atop the overall standings after 4 of the 10 events. Back-to-back event wins have Laura Horvath in 2nd place by just 10 points. An impressive youngster and a resurgent veteran are lurking, ready to make a charge to the top. They will face 3 more unique challenges on day 2, including a brand new test of strength. The Texas-sized showdown continues next time at the 2022 Rogue Invitational. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.